Hi all, this is Dr. J coming to you live from Manhattan, New York. That's right, a little bit of a difference. I'll be broadcasting from Manhattan today, tomorrow, and Friday. I don't have access to a computer where I am, so I will wing it. That is, we'll talk stocks without showing charts, even though I have the charts in my head. Did you see the Dow's performance today? As you recall, Dr. J in his market wrap yesterday called for the Dow to be down about 100 points today. Well, it was down 72 at the close. That's pretty close. I also think, in my opinion, that the selling will accelerate tomorrow, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, perhaps, before we resume the bull. I mean, the selling has been hardly noticeable. It's gone down 250 points from its, I think it was 26,250 point high on Monday. Monday night, I said, beware of the gravestone doji. And so far, what followed that gravestone doji were two other dojis, one after the other on Tuesday and Wednesday, today. Did I say I'd be here? Yeah, all right. I'm getting a little bit confused here. That's right. So, I'm doing it with a picture in my mind. So the Monday was a red candle, but barely, with essentially a gravestone doji. And Tuesday was it was a blue candle, but it finished lower. I mean, a green candle, but it finished lower. Too much dentists. Wednesday today was the dentist. No, it ended with a loss of about 72 points for, again, a doji. I think if you color it, it's so close to even, I wouldn't even bother putting a color. It opened and closed, I think, 10 points apart. The entire range for the day was 160 points. So we're seeing a gradual tug of war between the bulls and the bears, and the bears are beginning to make progress, even if they are doji. So in my estimation, we will see something more than a doji Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. That's probably enough selling if it accelerates to end it. So maybe four days of selling, 4 market days of selling. That would be Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm calling for about 25,000, could be higher, 25,500, somewhere in that range. So right now it's 26,000 or 25. What did it end at? 25,985, something like that. So we're looking at another 500 points to close to 1,000 points more. It's already 250 off the high. I would put it at a total of either 750 to 1250 from peak to trough. And then I think we resume. I mean, my crystal ball has been working something uncanny lately. So, in my opinion, we will resume after a brief sell-off. To me, it's just 4 or 5 days. What is it? Even 1,000 points, it's nothing. 1,000 points is 4%, something like that. So, not a big deal. As I said before, sooner than later, we will be knocking at the highs of 26,009, whatever it was, 26,800. I don't even remember what the all-time high is. But we're going to take it out I have no doubt in my mind, well, some doubt, but little doubt, doing a great job fumbling. It's different when you're broadcasting from Manhattan in strange environs without your charts. It's different bad, not different good. Anyway, and plus I feel like there's an echo in this room that I'm in, but I have to live with it. I want to say what I want to say, and I also want to remind you that to do your own due diligence, that my opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Remember, I'm not a registered investment analyst. I didn't pass any of those fancy Series 6, 7 exams or any other exam. I am a PhD in mathematics. Does that qualify me to be a great chartist? Not necessarily. But basically, I have a unique way of looking at things, different than most. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You can follow Dr. J because sometimes I have some great ideas, but do so at your own risk. And again, let me remind you, I do have some clunkers occasionally. And like I always remind you, it's your job to differentiate between the clunkers and my great ideas. And if you think I have a great idea, let me know so I can act on it. So I wish I knew which of my ideas were the greatest. And then I wouldn't have my money tied up in some stocks that aren't doing much. I have, I don't know, probably about 15 stocks in my portfolio at any given time. What do I want to talk about? Carvana. Carvana was an interesting one that we looked at yesterday. It had a very nice run from 30 to 40, I think, and was up yesterday after hours to 45, I think. I think, I don't know, I don't remember what it did today after all of that. I think we had a continuation to the upside, but I'm not sure. The big movement today was tandem. We also charted that one yesterday. And it was up based on earnings and based on a new CEO. And tandem, of course, is the biotechnology stock for type 1 diabetics that need an insulin pump. And it's a phenomenal gizmo that's selling like crazy. The stock was up 25% today. That's one hell of a move to something like $62. I think it was sitting at, what was it sitting at? 48. So that was a pretty phenomenal move. It was the best moving biotechnology stock of the day, I believe. And Dr. J just regrets not having bought more. At this point, I'm waiting for the pullback, but the pullback probably won't happen. That's what always happens, right? When you're waiting for that pullback, it just doesn't seem to materialize. But you hate to chase them, on the other hand, so I might just sit with what I got. What else? Carvana was a good mover, but it was based on earnings and a positive outlook. The earnings, I think, came in, did the earnings come in negative? Yeah, they again came in with a loss. But despite that, the guidance was good. Growth prospects are good. So it was up on the day based on optimism. It's a tricky stock. It's definitely not one that I would chase. The whole concept of buying a used car on the internet escapes me. Anyway, Fit had a tremendous run, and we charted that the other day. And we also noted that due to its tremendous run, it better have blowout earnings and blow out guidance in order to continue to run. Well, after hours today, FIT was down pretty heavily, probably about 10% down, and the reason was poor guidance, even though it beat expectations on the earnings. So that's where we are with FIT and Carvana. Carvana up after hours, FIT down after hours. What else? Voyager was my second biggest winner today. It made a very nice pop to over $15 a share. From, I think it was over $1 that it moved. I'll take it. I think I bought it at I want to say 990s, 992, 3, something like that. I started off on the wrong foot. I think it went into the high 8s, but now it's on the right track. I do believe it's a winner, but all the gene modifying stocks seem to have done well today. It was the theme of the day in biotechnology. So you had Edit and CRISPR and I don't know, what's the one with the petroleum? XON, where they actually do modification of genes, not only for health, but for growing things and even the petroleum business. That one was up, not as much as some of the others, but it was up. All of these are into modifying genes for therapeutic drug purposes, to develop therapeutic drugs. Voyager, I'm very thrilled about its progress, its trials, and the hope for success in finding a drug to slow the progress of Parkinson's disease. And prta, it was another winner of mine today, although a smaller one, and that's into the same area, neurodegenerative diseases. And prta, I'm doing very well with. Boy, I think I discussed it with you. I bought it at around 10. I think it's 14 and change. So I'm very happy with prta and Voyager. I'm happy with tndm. I'm not so happy with athx, my largest holding. That one seems to like trading ranges. And there was one of my, I think it's Mr. Steal Your Shares, remarked in a tweet that we have to go past the wall at $1.55. And I agreed, because if you look at the chart, there's a quadruple top at 157 on this stock. It actually hit it today, it hit it yesterday, backed off both days. So it'll probably go up 3 pennies tomorrow. It goes down 3 pennies the next day, up 3 pennies the next day. It seems like a 2 to 3 penny yo-yo, too small to actually trade. I do think it will get past that 175 wall, Mr. Steal Your Shares. And 157 wall, 157 wall. 175 is the high that it has to take out. I think it'll do that too. And once it does that, it will move back up into that 180 to 215 trading range that I was in for 6 months. So I don't see it never moving up. I see it moving up shortly, within months, to around the $2 level on average. And the reason I see it moving up is because with time we get closer to results. And that always causes excitement. It usually causes a bit of a run. The trial that I'm talking about and the data I'm talking about is the TREASURE trial for ischemic stroke being carried out by its partner Helios KK in Japan. So we are waiting for any update from them, I guess, because they're doing the trials. We're starting a trial simultaneously. I don't know where we are exactly, but we're starting one in the United States called the Masters trial. The one in Japan is called the TREASURE trial. We're looking for endpoints after 3 months and after a year. And really the phenomenal data that we saw last time in a phase 2 trial was after a year. So it's going to be a wait. If we end the trial, if the trial ends sometime this year, it'll still take till 2020 to get results, I think. So it's a wait, but as we get closer to the end of this year, the price will move up, in my opinion. So athx is something I've got my eye on, I've got my money in. Another one that I have a large stake in is Actinium Pharmaceuticals, atnm. Spoke about that a number of times. It basically prepares the bone marrow for bone transplant. It's an alternative to harsh chemotherapy and a good alternative. And there's several drugs that it's developing along these lines and also venturing into the immunotherapy space. So there's reason to be optimistic there. It's hovering around the 60-cent level. I'd like to see it trade above 70 pennies, which is where I think it belongs, while we're waiting for the trials to conclude. What other interesting tidbits do I have to say? I don't know. You know, it's hard without my charts. So I'm just going to wind it up by saying I expect further weakness across the board. Canadian pot stocks were weak today. I think we'll see more of that. Dr. J owns all four, the big four. I call them the big four. That would be in random order: Tilray, Aurora, Canopy Growth, and Kronos. So, of course, I have my biggest portion in Kronos, my biggest investment, followed by CGC, followed by Aurora, followed by Tilray, in order. I asked for your input as to what order you would invest. I got very few replies on that. I did that on a vlog a few nights ago. If you wish to give me your input, you still can. In what order would you invest your money? Like a hypothetical bankroll of 100K. Let's say you had it to invest. Would you go 40,000 Canopy, 20,000 everything else? What would you do? For example, I just made an example up. And if you have an explanation as to why, let me know. There were a couple of very good explanations as to why people did their portfolio allocation the way they did amongst those four, hypothetically, of course. So if you feel you want to give that a shot, give it a shot. I'd like hearing from you. Any other comments is definitely appreciated. It was pointed out to me that SCSN also had a nice pop. There were quite a few biotechs with nice pops. The IBB way outperformed the Qs, the spiders, and the diamonds. Way. It was up 1.52%. The Dow was down. The diamonds were down about 0.25%, and the Qs and S&P were down very, very little, but down. So it wasn't even close. Today was a day for the biotechs. Biotechs are starting to get hot, like Dr. J said they would. Before, in my opinion, before this bull market is over, kaput, finished, the biotechs will shine and take over the leadership role. This has been Dr. J, streaming live from Manhattan, New York, in the heart of the Wall Street district. Adios, amigos. Shalom. Sayonara. Ciao. Don't forget to subscribe.